People don't join cults because they're gullible. What makes you reachable by a cult or a conspiracy or a horoscope, it's not a lack of intelligence. It's a life that stopped making sense. And if you think that it's a gullible issue, then that makes you susceptible to this. It's sort of like anticipating that anybody that breaks into your house is going to do so by breaking in the front door. And if you just watch the front door, then you miss anybody that's going to come in through the windows. So you probably think that you were too clear-headed for any of this, and so did I. And then a few years ago, my world started to fall apart. Like my career, my time at school, my relationships, everything just started to crumble. It was a really dark time. And at the time, my girlfriend was into astrology. And for the first time, I actually started to read the charts, and I even downloaded an app or two. And I didn't fall into it, but I did feel the pull. And that pull, I want to show you what that actually is, where it comes from, and how somebody can turn that against you. Because this sort of pull is going to become more and more important as we interact more and more with AI. So when your life stops making sense, your mind is going to reach out for anything that promises to hand that sense back. And for a lot of people that are using AI now, that's, to some extent, it's going to be AI. So one thing to keep in mind is that this fires under lost control, and it's not low intelligence. So it's just a normal mind doing a normal mind thing. So a research study. So back in 2008, in a science study, Whitson and Galinsky, they found that people who were stripped of a sense of control, and they just asked them, remember a time that things were out of your control or you felt helpless, they were more likely to see patterns that weren't really there. So they'd see like a fuzzy bunch of static, and they were more likely to see that there were images there, or to make false correlations, or believe in conspiracies. So it's not the pattern that's the point, it's the need that's underneath all of this. So one thing to keep in mind is that any need is leverage by someone else, right? If you need water and you don't have water, then whoever has water has leverage over you. And the same thing is true for food, safety, security, and meaning. But the thing to watch out here is that you can be extorted for money, and it's not a pleasant experience, but at least you know that it's happening. Like, this can be steered by for years and you not notice. But if you don't know that coherence and meaning is an underlying need that you have, then you can be steered and manipulated with this for years or the rest of your life, and you don't really know. So the real exposure here, it's not that the thing that you believe is wrong, it's not recognizing the need that belief or ideology is filling. So back to the whole gullible part, because obviously gullible people are going to believe in things like conspiracies, but that's not the vector that's really the vulnerability into that person's mind. So there was a good friend of mine. He told me about a man who's a good friend of his. And this guy is brilliant. He has lived internationally for a long time. He's built businesses. He's really successful. He's smart. He always thought religion was a little bit hokey. He didn't believe in anything that was woo-woo. And my friend calls me up and he's like, I had to tell you this because I'm witnessing the most crazy transformation that I've ever seen in another human being. This guy has moved himself to Texas. I think he got married, and his wife is very religious. And he noticed that his friend, within a span of about 5 months, has now become fundamentalist Christian. This guy who thought religion was hokey. And he's so extreme on all of these views that he had taken the opposite stance on, that his old group of friends can't even talk to him anymore without things turning into a fight. So this wildly radical transformation has occurred. Now, I don't know all the details about this guy, but I think one of the things to keep in mind is that is really uncomfortable is that the part of you, the deep part of you that reaches out for an answer for something that makes sense of the world, it doesn't care if that answer is true. It just cares that that answer fits the need. Okay, so the way out. I've got 2 moves that I can tell you. One of them is to just see it. Just name the need, right? Like, leverage works really, really well when it's used in the dark. If you don't know that you're being leveraged, good luck. So if you just know that things don't make sense to me right now and it's really uncomfortable, I'm having a really hard time in this and this and this area, just sitting with it, however uncomfortable it is, it lends you some immunity against leverage. And the second thing is to actually meet that need. So this 2008 study that I mentioned, affirming your own values and restoring that sense of agency will dial the effect back down. So the test that anything you're reaching out for is, does it send you back out to the real world, to real people, or does it try to stand in for the rest of the world? And I found that myself when I was in Mormonism, that ideology, it consumed and enveloped everything. Every part of life was in the background of Mormonism. It wasn't like there was Mormonism is my religious life, and then I go out and I have work, and then I have family and friends. It was, everything was encompassed by Mormonism. So if you've fallen for anything before in the past, just know you're not necessarily gullible, and it doesn't mean that you're stupid. You also are not out of reach. Okay, you just need to see the need, recognize it, and then go meet it where it's real, with real people in the real world.